All right, what is going on, guys? Long time no see. Thought that excuse me, I thought that I would go ahead and do a video. Haven't done one in a long time, obviously. To anyone who has been subscribed to me from the beginning and is still subscribed to me now, really do appreciate you guys, and I sincerely mean that. I haven't done a video in a while. I've had a lot of just personal affairs come up that made it difficult to make videos on a regular basis. And of course, just to compound that, Cold Steel did not come out with any new walking sticks in 2018. Hopefully next year that'll change, and I can make a couple more videos. So with that in mind, this is a modification video. I have decided to take a Cold Steel Blackthorn staff and essentially reduce it down to an even 4 feet. Originally, the specifics is as is. It's actually 59 inches. It's just under 5 feet tall. As it turns out, my mother, she had one of these there at her house, and they had used a rubber tip that didn't quite fit, and I think they had already taken a bit off of the bottom, but my mother does like to go walking, so I decided to see if I could make her a walking stick that was, I guess, more suited for her height, if you will. She's, like I said, she's a bit on the short side, so I decided to bring this home with me, and I essentially lobbed off, I forget, it was maybe about like 3 or 4 inches. Like I said, it had already been cut down. I made it an even 4 feet, essentially. And like I did on my previous Blackthorn staff, I used a handsaw and a Dremel to reduce those clip thorn protrusions. I used a lighter to singe off all of the frilly, jagged parts. I did that with this one as well, and I reduced it to a 4-foot battle staff. Only problem, I just was going to let you guys know, if you plan on doing the same thing, let me get down here for a second. This rubber tip, you're going to have to work on the bottom. You're going to have to do a little bit more additional work if you're going to get these gray tips on here. This, I think, was it was either a 1 1/8, possibly bigger. I had to do a little bit extra filing down of the bottom of this so I could get that tip on. That's just so you guys know, in case you ever plan on taking one of these and cutting them down to a shorter length. But what you essentially have is a nice 48-inch version of the Irish Blackthorn staff. Just turn this to the side here so I could show you. These are the nubs that I took off. Like I said, that is if you plan on using this for self-defense purposes. Taking off those nubs is pretty much mandatory. If you try and wield it in a self-defense manner with those nubs on the factory version, it's gonna hurt your hands, and it's gonna leave you at a disadvantage if you're ever in a bad situation. Just making that known. So yeah, this right here is the Cold Steel Blackthorn staff reduced to 48 inches. I guess if you guys want, I can do a practicality test on these two. That's right, I haven't done one on either of these yet. Hopefully now that things are a little bit different now, I can bring you some practicality tests for see how these modified versions work, both walking wise and I guess in a self-defense situation. But for now, I just wanted to show off this new modification on an old staff. So I guess that's all I got to say about that. Peace out for now, fellas.